Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shuffle Podcast, episode 167 with the Cookie Shuffle guys. I'm Joe,
I'm Dave.
and this is going to be our shortest episode probably ever because Dave has a date
Yes.
with Ben and Tyler.
With some boys.
Where are you guys going?
The Ridge.
Were you able to get reservations, or are you just like going and risking it?
I mean, it's a Thursday night. It's probably.
It's a safe bet.
Yeah, it's probably not. I don't know. We didn't do reservations.
So you're going and risking it is what the answer is.
Yeah, I mean, the first time we went there, we went at lunchtime, and it did take us like an hour and a half to sit down.
That's crazy, dude.
Because I don't know. I guess we should have done what everybody else was doing and standing outside because they said they open at noon, but on the door it said open at 12:30. So we were sitting in the parking lot and everyone just kept standing out in the rain. Or like just standing in the vestibule, and I was like, we're not doing that. We're just
fuck that. It's not worth it.
So whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, it's something. It sounds good though. I'm excited for you. I want to go there.
Yeah.
Did you hear the latest news?
That I'm gay.
Wow, that's news. No, that Panic at the Disco is no more.
Really?
Really? Yeah, Brendon Urie announced it like 2 days ago.
There's no more
Might have been
disco
yesterday.
panic?
No more disco panicking.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, like just like
he announced it yesterday. He wants to like be with his family. I don't know if he's married.
I mean, dude, they like okay.
What?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were like a big thing. Then at some point I swear they just like died and then they came back and were
they definitely
huge.
had for a while they like stopped making music. I think it was so like it was always Brendon Urie. But then I think there were other people in the band for a while. And then I think it was just him and like the musicians. And he still called the group Panic at the Disco because like, why are you going to change the name?
Right.
But yeah, he said this was 2 days ago. Well, it's been a hell of a journey. Growing up in Vegas, I could have never imagined where this life would take me. So many places all over the world. And all the friends we've made along the way. But sometimes the journey must end for a new one to begin. We've been trying to keep it to ourselves, though some of you may have heard. Sarah and I are expecting a baby very soon, so he is married. Or at least I assume he's married. The prospect of being a father and getting to watch my wife, there it is, married, become a mother is both humbling and exciting. I look forward to this next adventure. That said, I'm going to bring this chapter of my life to an end and put my focus and energy on my family. And with that, Panic at the Disco will be no more. Thank you all for your immense support over the years. I've sat here trying to come up with the perfect way to say this, and I truly can't put into words how much it has meant to us. Whether you've been here since the beginning or are just finding us, it has been a pleasure to not only share the stage with so many talented people, but also share our time with you. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in Europe and the UK for one last run together. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for existing. Brendon. It's fucking wild, dude. It's like they've been around literally forever.
2004.
That's crazy.
Is when they started.
Yeah.
And that's when I like, not that I knew them, but like, I don't know.
Rachel listened to them a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like,
what is my hair doing?
Because I was like, I'd have to look up some of the earlier songs. I don't really know them.
The most popular one is going to be, what the fuck is the name of that song?
Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time?
No, that's not it.
I don't know. We're So Starving. She's a Handsome Woman. Green Gentleman. I Have Friends in Holy Places. I don't recognize any of these.
Is this like their first album?
Oh, Hey, Look Ma, I Made It.
Well, yeah, that's one of their more recent ones. But I'm talking about like from their original music.
I thought that's what I thought I was looking at. Dude, Sierra's up here, and oh my god.
She's farting.
She is ripping.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I gotta toss a hat on.
I write sins, not tragedies. That sounds familiar, right? Did
you find anything?
Oh, your headphones are off, right? I write sins, not tragedies.
That's the one.
Okay, so how's that go?
Uh,
Like, you know, give me like a
I don't even know that I could do that. I know the song.
Wait, I
Like I
can listen
guarantee I
to
could
it
sing
without
every
you
word of
hearing
the
it.
song, but
Oh, ba-bum, ba-bum,
yeah.
ba-bum. Yeah.
You know
Okay,
what?
yeah.
I'm glad you didn't play the music because you remember last week when we were listening to all those jingles and you said we're definitely going to get copyrighted? We fucking did.
Oh,
Yeah, and
nice.
like it doesn't do anything. We can still still upload to YouTube. The audio is
Yeah.
still there. It's not like they muted us. But what the fuck is that? But yeah,
Yeah, just demonetized, right?
it's well, potentially. It depends.
Potentially.
I didn't like bother looking because we're not making any money anyways. Um, but yeah, it is just it does have a copyright claim on it. It doesn't necessarily mean we can't make money. It just means that there is a copyright claim on the video. Bless you.
Yeah, so I do know that song.
Yeah, and I'm
And
sure
I
you
knew
know quite
like
a few of their songs. Hey, look, mine
yeah.
made it. Dancing's not a crime.
No, I know their newer songs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's like they like came back and everyone was like, "Yo, Panic at the Disco." And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I knew this group before like I swear any of you did. Weren't
Yeah,
they such an old group? And I was so
because they
confused.
were
I was like,
popular around the same time that Green Day was. It was Green Day and
yeah,
Panic at the Disco, and I mean
yeah.
a bunch of other ones. But like, um, yeah, it's like it's crazy how long they've been around, and now we're not gonna get any new fucking
Yeah.
songs. Although I will say there have been some recent videos of Brendon Urie in concert, and he doesn't sound like as good as he does on the recordings. Like him live apparently is just not as good.
They always sound different, bro.
Yeah, but I'm
They
saying like
always
it's
sound.
not like he sounds different. I'm saying he sounds bad. Like he can't sing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's not true, right? Like he's a
Yeah.
fucking talented son of a bitch, but he hits crazy high notes. And I think that just like so much time of him doing that has gotten to him. And so, and
Yeah.
it may just be like I've seen the same video 15 different times from 15 different angles. So it's probably not a bunch of different videos. But yeah, I've been seeing some of those pop up on the TikTok of like they're like Brendon Urie live, and it's just like he's singing like what's that Frozen song from the second movie?
Into the unknown.
Yeah, and he just like doesn't sound good live singing that at all.
I just sang that in the shower the other day.
It's a banger of a song, dude.
uh
Um,
uh
do you don't read books, but you watch movies, you watch series. Do you
yeah.
get emotionally invested into movies and TV shows?
No.
Okay.
Not like yeah. Not to the point where I'm like some people like my ex one of
Oh,
my exes one of my exes you know who you are with Grey's Anatomy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um
I know who she is.
yeah. Like I'm crying, I'm sitting over here crying over characters,
Mm, mm.
but like you know, for example, when I watched like NCIS,
Hmm.
you know, Kate in like the first season or whatever, it was just like
Oh, I just fucked up my glasses.
it was just like what,
Yeah, shit like was shit rocked you.
you know, and like in oh dude, oh man, bro, I was like, maybe I do. I mean, I didn't cry, but like during Transformers when they killed Ironhide, dude, I was just like, bro, bro, come on.
That's fucked, yeah, what they did to him.
I was like, and like I was like, you really just gonna let him do that?
Yeah,
Like,
you're just gonna off Ironhide like that?
I mean, like, yeah, so it's not that I get so invested where I'm just like, "Ugh," you know,
Yeah.
might as well just kill me now.
Hmm. But you definitely
But
care.
but I'm like, dude, no,
Yeah.
come on.
The reason I'm asking is because like I mean I do not again not to the point of said ex-girlfriend. Well, maybe it depends, I think, on the show. So like, and again, I read books too, so like I get emotionally invested in the characters in the books. So like my prime example is when I was reading the Divergent series. Um, I like, and you've seen those movies, great flicks. The books are very good. Um, when I got to the last book, it was one of those books that I just like couldn't put it down. And that book is way better than the movie. They cut out so much for that last movie. Not the point. I got to the last couple of chapters, and I legitimately was reading and crying over what was happening. I just couldn't believe what I was reading. And I like didn't think that I gave that much of a shit, to be reading or to be crying while reading a book. Yeah. But it hit me so hard, and I just fucking wept like a baby. I know that I've told the story on the podcast before of when Shannon and I first met or started dating or whatever. She was like watching The Office, and she still does to this day. Watches The Office nonstop. It's like how much you watch Friends. She watches The Office. Mm-hmm. And so when I watched the episode, at Michael's last episode, I cried. And when I watched the series finale, I cry. And even now, same thing. Shannon was just watching Michael's last episode a couple days ago, cried again. She's now getting close to the series finale. If I watch it, I'm gonna cry. I just know it.
Yeah. Like with Friends, when they ended it, and they were leaving the apartment and everything, and even when Michael's last day on The Office and everything, it's definitely it hits you. It's like,
yeah, it does.
It's such good acting.
It really is, and that's what it comes down to, honestly.
And it's not like it doesn't get portrayed as being a fictional thing.
Yeah, well, especially
they play it well. They act well,
especially in a lot of like series finales or somebody's last episode. So like Michael's last episode is a really prime example, because everybody knows now that like in the second last episode of his, that's when they like they sang that song for him, which was totally unscripted.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And so like that was obviously an emotional moment for him. It's like funny for everybody else watching, but it's also an emotional moment. And so like that really was them saying goodbye to him. And then I think what they do a really good job, especially in comedies, is they do such a good job of breaking away from this is the show that was, and I hate The Office, right? This is the show that is so stupid. It's so insanely stupid. But like to many people, it's so hilariously funny that we're going to take a huge turn from that and make it so emotional right at the very end. Like the entire episode, his very last episode, there's still a lot of funny moments. Mm-hmm. But right at the end, when Pam is saying goodbye to him in the airport, like that fucking right in the face.
There was one series where I cried. It was Burn Notice.
Really?
Because in season 6, Michael's brother, actually no, I didn't cry then. I don't think. I might have, but I can't remember. But I know there was a point. It was around this time frame in the 6th season when it happened, and the 7th, and like the ending season, I believe. But Michael's brother had gotten shot, and it was just like whatever, and then his mom, when they got the guy who shot him, she said, I want to talk to him. I want to speak to him. And she was saying like, he's my baby boy and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, so what goes through, she wanted to know what went through his mind when he fires a shot, if he's a trained sniper and he's supposed to hit his target. Because he wasn't supposed to get hit. It was the guy who he was next to, but it went through his whole body. And he was like, well, I think about wind trajectory of all this, and I guess I just kind of calculated it differently because of the wind and whatever. So, and she was like, well, I want you to make sure you know who you're shooting when you pull that trigger or something like that. And so like he was getting emotional, and she was emotional, and I was emotional.
Damn.
And I was
like, good. Again, like you said, it's good acting, and that's like the best part about it. But yeah, so like The Office, that book series, I'm sure there's other books that I've read. There wasn't even a series that I read. There was just an individual book one time that I read I think there's been a few by the same author, and I can't remember his name, but he wrote The Five People You Meet in Heaven, and the book that which I cried during.
I mean,
And
I
then
cry easily during movies.
yeah,
Honestly, I should just say, yeah, I don't get invested so much in the characters, but more like just, you give me a sad movie, bro.
you're gonna
You give me
cry.
you give me a movie. I mean, dude, I just like I don't know, I mean, I guess it is kind of a sad movie. I don't like cry, but I get emotional. Good Will Hunting. You get sad.
Such good. You get emotional as fuck in that movie.
You get sad,
Yeah, it hits you in the gut.
The movie
Um,
Wonder.
I have never seen that.
Oh, I cried.
Is that about the kid with the weird face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I cried. I was like,
Really?
man, dude, this kid is helpless, dude.
He's
And
so ugly.
they're just picking on him.
Damn, that fucking sucks. So it's a
So
good. Is that a good movie?
it was a good movie.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get to it
I've
eventually.
never watched it again, but I watched it.
Yeah.
Dude, animal movies. Come on,
Anything with a dog, you know you can't.
Marley and Me,
Yeah.
Homeward Bound.
Oh, Homeward Bound, dude.
Dude, I haven't thought about that movie in forever.
Yeah.
I saw a clip on TikTok of the
Mhm.
part where all the animals come home.
Yep.
And I was just like,
I'm gonna start
oh,
crying right now.
fucking I Am Legend, where he has to kill his dog. It's not an animal movie, but he has to kill his dog.
Oh yeah. I was
If
like, I
if an
am Legend.
animal dies, you ever seen A Dog's Purpose?
No.
Don't.
I refuse to watch it. Yeah, no, I cannot watch dog movies.
Ugh, it's horrible. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
horrible, but it's just like, dude, I was crying like the whole time.
Yeah, because people love dogs. We are hardwired to love dogs.
Yeah,
And so when we
dude.
see a dog die, it's super duper sad.
I can make such a long list of movies I've cried at. It's
Oh, me
unreal.
too.
Like, you ever seen sorry, I keep interrupting you, but
You're
the Mr. Rogers movie, whatever that movie's called.
the one with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
No,
You seen that?
haven't seen it.
Dude.
That's a sad movie?
Yeah. Didn't think it. I went in there, I was like, yo, Tom Hanks, let's go.
Mr. Rogers, yeah.
Like Mr. Rogers. I'm like, whatever. I came home and I was like, I told mom, I was like, nobody's gonna tell me I was gonna cry. She's like, I could have told you. She didn't even see it. And she was like, I was like, I didn't think it would be a sad movie.
yeah, no.
It probably isn't for everybody.
That new movie that he just came out with, A Man Called Otto or something like that.
Yeah, Otto. That's probably gonna be a sad movie.
I've heard that it's an emotional movie
Yeah.
because he plays a grumpy old man, and you know when somebody plays a grumpy old man that by the end of that movie some shit happens.
His heart's getting bigger by 3 times or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. He is like the Grinch.
Yeah.
And so something happened to make him a grumpy old man. He probably used to be the most loving man in the world until he like lost his daughter or his wife or some shit.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that's what it is. I guarantee it. What I was gonna say is what it all boils down to for me, besides really good acting or really good story writing, because again, I also get emotional at books. I am not good, as I'm sure many people are. I'm definitely not taking this as a unique thing about myself. I am not good with goodbyes or like change or losing people.
Yeah, who is?
Like,
dude?
yeah, no, like nobody's okay with that or good with that. But like I know like if I'm reading something and like that's where it's gonna lead to. I'm like, I know this fucking gonna get me. Like, I just know. And that's the other thing. The other book that I was going to talk about is it's called The Timekeeper. And again, it's written by that Mitch Albom is his name. Great writer. The Five People You Meet in Heaven. Fucking saddest book, saddest movie I've ever seen or read and seen in my life. It's probably not true, but I'm putting it up there. The Timekeeper. The book's like 100 pages long. You can't imagine how good of a story somebody could write in 100 pages. Mitch Albom knows what the fuck he's doing in 100 pages. It's so good. And it's
100 pages. I could probably read that.
You could read it. I'll give it to you, dude. It's so fucking good.
Wait, what's it called?
Called The Timekeeper. This quick
Let's see.
synopsis. Basically, it's about a guy who, let's say, for all intents and purposes, the God that he believes in, we're just going to call him God, essentially makes him a god of sorts. And so he's like basically cursed or whatever. I don't remember the reason why, but cursed to like live forever.
Yeah.
And I think he has control over time. And some crazy shit happens. It like jumps back to like his past and the future with like a different storyline entirely. It's like two stories coinciding at the same time, but at different times, like thousands of years apart. It's fucking incredible. It's just so fucking good, and it's so emotional. And it's got a lot of that shit. It's like in the first 10 pages, spoiler alert, he like loses his girlfriend or loses his wife because it's like, back then they were like cavemen. He like loses his cave woman. And you're like, fuck, dude. I wish I had a cave woman. I don't wish I had a cave woman. I mean, like when you're reading that book, you're like, damn.
F's in the chat.
Yeah, F's in the chat for sure. Shit's crazy. That's just what it is. I'm not good with loss or change. And again, goodbyes. Goodbyes are a bitch and a half. Fuck goodbyes.
Yeah, I could do without them.
Yeah. Like I also need to say goodbye, like I need that goodbye from somebody. Like if you're leaving, you better say goodbye to me. If you
like
fucking Irish
just in
me,
general.
Yeah. In general, if it's like a big thing, like when people leave work, we have like they usually throw like a party, not at work, but like the person themselves throws a party at like a restaurant.
Like leaving. Like I'm talking about, like you're chilling with your friends.
I mean everything. In all sense of the word leaving. If you don't say goodbye to me as you're walking out the door from Tyler's house, I'm pissed.
I guess it depends. I mean, I'm with my friends. I'll be like, yo, peace, guys.
Yeah. I'm not saying I need a sentimental goodbye. I don't need a hug and a kiss.
Oh, yeah,
right?
no, I know you're not saying that.
I just need a quick, like, yo, I'm out of here. All right, see you, boys. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Get home safe. Get home safe. It's like, that way if the person, doesn't make it, you're like, at least I said get home safe.
I did my part.
Yeah. Okay? I wished goodwill upon him.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you Irish goodbye me in any sense of goodbye, go fuck yourself, dude.
Peace, bitch.
You're not even a friend anymore, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think I've ever. I don't know if I do that. I do it. I mean, I do it here. Usually just walk out the door.
Yeah, that's different, I guess. Like if that's at home, I guess. I'll like if you were to like let's say I still lived at home. If you were to come wake my ass up every morning before you left work and we're like, bye, Joe, I'm leaving for work. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here right now.
That'd be stupid. Well, like, yeah, obviously I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'd be like, I literally hope you get fired for that.
I hope since you woke me up, you're late and you get fired.
Yeah. But yeah, like. But for the most part, I expect a goodbye at all times. It's just who I am as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
To each his own.
Yeah, to each his own indeed.
Quick little story here before I probably got to get going here soon.
Yeah, before we wrap this up. Again, short episode, half-hour episode, like max.
I went... Yesterday we had a bunch of snow. It started snowing at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was snowing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mom got in an accident today. Shout out, Mom.
Oh yeah. Shout out moms who get in accidents, but are okay.
I got a quick story after this. Go ahead.
So my story is not that, but so we got some snow yesterday, and I was like, on Tuesday I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go snowboarding after work tomorrow. Put all my shit in my car. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And I backed my car up, and it was like, I would go outside to bring my car to the front door to put all this shit in, and it's snowing. I'm like, oh, cool. And I look, and I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be snowing like all day. Mm-hmm. And I look, and it's supposed to start fucking raining at like 6 o'clock.
Ugh.
And I'm like, are you really?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I get home, and it's like sort of raining, and I'm like, no, I had all my stuff, and I wasn't going to stop home, but I was just like, let me just like pull up a radar on my computer.
Take a quick gander, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just do that quickly because I mean I had to I didn't have to come this way, but either way. So I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to. And then I was talking to Dad, and he was like, I mean, and I was like, whatever, I'm just going. He's like, yeah, maybe you'll get some in before. And I'm going, and it's just like it's still raining as I'm going closer. So I was like, on my way, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to Chestnut Ridge because they have that big hill there.
Right.
And I saw before, like they have the sled hill, they have the toboggan chute, and now they have like a tow rope for like a skiing and snowboarding section.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm going to go there, see how it is. And I went there. There was nobody on the hill, which was fun.
That's good.
I was just double checking to make sure, I wasn't gonna like somehow get in trouble. But even if I like didn't see anything, I was just gonna go because there was no fence to block me off, no blah blah blah. But I was like, you know what? Let me just double check. I'll make sure nobody decides to come and bother me. And it said it was open till 7, like the tow rope. And even if it was outside of operational hours, it's just like ski at your own risk. Do like how the weather is, like
Yeah.
I can't think of the words that they said, but I was like, cool. So I put all my shit on. And it was just enough to just go down straight pretty much. That's all I did. I was kind of doing some like, going from edge to edge, practicing that a little bit. I was trying to go down goofy to see how well I would do with that. Definitely uncomfortable. I tried to do a 180 where I was going down one way and I would jump. And this is why I wanted to bring it up, because I went to do a 180 and
were you wearing your butt pad?
I
Okay.
Wasn't wearing my helmet because
nice.
I was like, well, it's just a small hill, who needs it? So
and now you have brain damage.
now I have brain damage. What was I saying? No. So I go down and I go to do the 180 and I hit it, but then I completely just like flipped over the front part of my board, like either the front end or the back end. I don't remember which one it was, but it would have been the back end. Like went like 3 inches into the ground and like came up. So when I got up and I was just like, whoa. And I looked, there was just like a bunch of mud just like on the edge of my board, and it was just like, ugh, come on. So then I only did 5 runs because I had to then walk all the way back up the hill.
Yeah.
In snow and my boots and carrying my snowboard and everything because the tow rope was not going. But it's pretty interesting. If you saw my Snapchat story, took a picture of the view that I had, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I did see that story.
I like that. I like that Chestnut Hill because you can always see the Buffalo City of Buffalo. Yeah.
Most people just call it the skyline, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really say yeah, I guess so. Yeah, skyline.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. So you did not go to an actual resort.
Snowboarding? No, I just went there because it was free and it was close.
Smart.
And I was completely drenched. Like I had my snow stuff on, so I wasn't drenched, but the pants and the jacket, they were just soaked. Yeah. So,
damn. 2 quick stories. One, I was at work today, at the new job, and it was my first shift on my own, out of training. My very first site that I went to today found a $10 bill on the ground.
Can you take that shit?
Oh yeah, I fucking snatched that shit so quick. I was like, let's fucking go, right? Because it was like, it was just sitting there in the grass, and I was like,
some lunch money.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, I was stoked. I was like, this is gonna be a good day, and it was a good day. But I knew when I found that $10 bill, I was like, this is gonna be the best day I've ever had.
Nice.
The other story I wanted to tell, a little bit less quick. The other day, Shannon was going to the Verizon store because she had to do some shit with her new phone. And she's backing out of the garage. She had previously moved my car out from behind hers. And so she's backing up out of the garage. I'm sitting here at the desk, and I hear what sounds like so like when we back out of our driveway, there's like a dip, like we've got like that like curb that like dips like this. Yeah. And so like you hit that and your car fucking bleh. And so I heard what sounded like something hitting like plastic or something. So I go, did she back out that fast that she like shook her car violently enough to make me hear that noise? And I go, no. And then I hear it again. I go, oh, she must have hit the garbage can because it was garbage day. So we have like the big plastic garbage cans out there. And I go, oh, she must have hit it. And she's like standing it back up, putting it back in the garage. So like I heard that I heard it the second time, and that's what I thought. But I go, let me double check it, make sure she's okay, right? Like, let me just check on this. So I get up and I go to look at we've got like a little glass window. Obviously, it's glass. We've got like a little window on our door, and I go to look through it, and at the same time, I hear her coming back inside, and she yells my name. And I go, what the fuck happened? So I go, yeah. I open the garage door, like pretty hastily because, she yelled my name. I go, yeah, what's up? She looks very distraught. And I look past her, and here's her car backed up into my car. And I'm like, oh no. And it's like, so like our garage is weird. Like you kind of have to like make a slight turn out of it and then back up straight because like the wall of it like sticks out further. It's fucking stupid. But so she just like didn't get it right, backed up just across the side of my passenger side of my car. And I looked at it and I go, again, like she's at a harsh angle in my car. And I go, Shannon, what happened? Like, how did you not back up straight? Like, that's really all you had to do. And she was and like, I try not to make too much on it because she was very upset, obviously. Like, I would be devastated if I backed up into her car. She was very upset. And so I like took a second. I was like, let me pull her car into the garage. Cause I asked her, I was like, do you want me to pull your car in? She was like, yeah, please. So I pulled her car into the garage, took a second to look at my car, assess the damage. It's really not that bad. There's like a very small dent in the rear passenger side door. And then it's like a scuff that's like the size of the thickness of her bumper because her bumper's plastic. So it just like, I think all bumpers are plastic, but like hers is just a big plastic chunk on hers. And it just like scrapes up along the black paint and it's just black on black. So it's just a slight scuff that could probably be buffed out pretty easily. And so I was like, all right, let me take a breather. It's not that bad. The car's not undrivable. It's not totally broken. No big deal. And so again, I went inside and she was again very upset. Just kept apologizing. I was like, listen, it's not a big deal, It's just a car. You're fine. Your car's fine. My car's okay. It's not a big deal.
Get a plunger, take that bumper, that dent right out.
But she ended up calling her insurance, which I was hesitant about her doing because I was like, I don't want your insurance to spike up, right? We all know how that fucking works. Insurance just likes to fuck you in the ass. Her insurance isn't going up that much. So she called them. They said it'll cost you way more money to do it on your own. So let's just let us pay for it. And your insurance won't go up that much. And she was like, all right, fine. So, and she has State Farm, not a sponsor, but I'm thinking about switching to State Farm after the interaction that I had with them because they called her to get the information and they called me to get my information. They didn't need like my insurance or anything. They just like needed my info because I wasn't in the vehicle at the time. So it's, I'm at no fault at all. So they're so nice. And they go, okay, so we're just going to send you the money. They just like shoot me like an email or a text with the money. I think it's like a text with like a link where all the money is. And they go, you click that link and you transfer it right into, right to your debit card, right to your bank account, right to whatever you need to transfer it to. They go, we're not going to ask for your bank information because that's not what we do here at State Farm. And I was like, God damn, they're amazing. So shout out to State Farm again. If you ever get a call from State Farm and they say, we need your bank info, it's not them because they don't ask for that shit. So they go, we'll just text you the money if that's all right with you. I go, sure, fucking fine. And so they go, here's our list of repair shops you can bring it to. They pick the best one for me. And you go, you just give them a call, make an appointment. They'll get you in. They know they work with us. They take care of it. Bada bing, bada boom. And you go, are you going to need a rental car while your car's in the shop? I go, yeah, I still need to get to and from work. They go, awesome. We'll pay for the rental car too. I go, fucking goddamn. So they give me a rental car. Now I take my car in on Monday, which means that today is Thursday. So tomorrow I have to like reserve the rental car. But yeah, I take my car on Monday for an estimate. I imagine I can just keep it there with them because it doesn't matter how much they say it costs. State Farm's covering it. So I'm like, fuck, sure. Replace the whole fucking side if you need to. I don't give a fuck.
What kind of car they give you?
I don't know. I imagine
I find out on Monday.
Yeah, I imagine I can probably ask for like an SUV like I have, and I'll be happy with it.
You do not have an SUV.
I have a small SUV.
You have a fucking sedan.
No, I don't.
You have a Crosstrek, don't you?
Yeah, that's not a sedan.
Dude,
it's way bigger than a sedan.
Way closer to a sedan than an
No,
SUV.
it is way closer to an SUV. Do you consider a Forester and an Outback a sedan?
No, compact SUV.
That's what I drive.
Yeah, but yours is smaller than a Forester and
It's
an
the
Outback.
same size as a Forester.
No, it's not. Maybe
Yes,
the same length.
It's the same size as a Forester, Dave. Or, sorry, not a Forester, an Outback. It's the same size as an Outback.
It's a little bit smaller.
It's not a little. I promise you, Dave. I was at the Subaru dealership. They go, it's the same size as an Outback. I just don't have as much trunk space as an Outback.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's the same size. They just put the space elsewhere.
It's the same height.
Everything's the same. Just not the inside.
All right, whatever.
Dude, I drive a fucking. If you looked at a sedan versus my car.
Okay, well, don't say an SUV.
Okay, I drive a compact SUV. State Farm doesn't consider that an option when they're choosing car types. They say, do you drive a sedan or an SUV? I drive a Crosstrek, so it's more like an SUV. And they go, we'll put SUV.
Watch them give you like a fucking Yukon. Could you imagine?
Oh, nah, God, no. Well, because even if you go on like Enterprise or whatever fucking car rental place.
Yeah, I know. They give you like regular.
Yeah, there's like sedan, there's fucking minis, there's compact, there's whatever fucking bullshit. So, but yeah.
That's pretty lit.
It is pretty lit. State Farm fucking, and I don't know, like Geico probably does the same shit, but I've just never had to deal with them because I don't want my insurance to go up, right? Like, so fuck that. But yeah, shout out State Farm. Shout out Shannon for hitting my car.
I wonder if you switch, you can get like a lower thing. Like, hey, you switch now.
I'd look into it for sure. Like, because right now I'm paying like just around $100 a month for Geico.
Paying like 138. I was paying.
My most recent was like 130 last month. I was like, 130. That's because it like just restarted. So like the first payment is always the highest. I'm like, go fuck yourself, Geico. I used to pay $92 a month.
Yeah, I was paying like 86, and it was like, oh, you got a new car, $158.
Yeah,
$178.
I go, you realize this car is safer than the one I was driving prior, right? And I go, yeah.
Stupid ass shit.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I love Geico because they're really helpful. They're really nice, but go fuck yourself.
Whatever.
Not a sponsor. Anyways, Dave, take us to trivia really quick.
Bam, bam, bam. Slam, slam. Oh, hot damn. All right. Pick a number.
14.
3, 6, 9, 12, 14. What, or in the US, what famous slogan first appeared on the World War I recruiting posters? We want you. Or I want you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we both get that?
We could take the points. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Technically, you said we want you, but I'll count it anyway.
Yeah, but if you go back to the VOD, you know, we both said I want you. And if I wouldn't have said it first, you wouldn't have even known.
I had to sneeze, otherwise I was about to say it. Yeah,
we'll go with that story.
All right, go fuck yourself. Dave, where can people find you?
Instagram __ David Sharkey _ is my Instagram. Eat of the week. Eat of the week. I don't really know. Honestly, we're gonna go with the triple meat and the premium or the supreme pizza rolls.
Totinos?
Yeah. Totinos. Yeah.
Pizza pillows.
Yeah.
That's nice. Sounds good. You can follow me on my photography Instagram, Sharky_photography, my regular Instagram at Secret Agent Sharky, and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@JoeSharky7. My eat of the week is, I'll tell you right now, I've been eating a lot of broccoli and a lot of bacon lately because I went to the Cast grocery store that we have down here, and they sell like Disney food super discounted. So I got a 5-pound bag of bacon for $15. Yoink that shit. I also got a 3-pound bag of broccoli for like $3. yoinked that shit. So I've been eating a lot of broccoli and bacon. But that is not my eat of the week. My eat of the week is going to be probably the pizza that I had when I watched the Bills get absolutely shit on by the Bengals, and my heart shattered into a million pieces. Good pizza though. Bad game, great pizza. And we won't talk about the game any more than that. As for the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at CSG Pod. That is CSGPOD. Follow us on TikTok at The Shuffle Podcast, where we post our clips from the podcast. And subscribe on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@The-Shuffle-Podcast. And you can follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well, both at Shuffle Podcast. And of course, as per usual, we are on Anchor now. That is at The Shuffle Podcast on Anchor as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Peace.